Hi everyone, and welcome to this video on Cloud Native Readiness for Applications, which is our framework for making applications wildly successful on top of Kubernetes. My name is John Harris.
And I'm Alex Brand. So as an organization, you are in some place along the Kubernetes journey. You might be getting started and learning about it, or perhaps you are already running Kubernetes within your organization. Essentially, you're at some point in this journey, and your goal is to get Kubernetes up and running, ready for consumption. Now, deploying and managing Kubernetes is a very important goal. However, it is really the foundational goal. It is really an extremely important goal, but not the end game. Recently, the process of bootstrapping and managing Kubernetes has been essentially commoditized. It has been made a lot easier than it was years ago. The VMware Tanzu product line, for example, provides an amazing experience for managing Kubernetes on vSphere and cloud providers. There's also managed offerings from cloud providers such as Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. And there's, of course, the open source projects that a lot of these technologies are built on, such as Cluster API. So once you get to the point where Kubernetes is running, the big question we like to discuss with organizations is, what is the gap between Kubernetes existing and those actual business outcomes that you're trying to achieve? Perhaps you're looking to ship software faster, or maybe reduce the time it takes to introduce new services, or perhaps you're looking to improve your scalability story. All of these things that Kubernetes could be helpful, but how do you actually get there? And this is exactly where cloud native readiness comes in. CNR bridges the gap between Kubernetes existing within your organization and the business outcomes that you're looking to achieve.
There are two personas that are usually engaging regularly with Kubernetes. The platform teams, who are often tasked with provisioning, configuring, and hardening the platform, and the development teams who will be deploying and running applications on top of the platform. In this video, we're going to focus on how we can help developers and application teams. As Alex said, we come to this story with a Kubernetes cluster already available. The work of the platform team has been done, but as a development team, we have a number of concerns we need to think about to realize the value of our applications on top of that platform. In CNR, we break these down into 5 areas.
One of the first things that developers need to consider is their developer workflow. This workflow needs to be fast and efficient. If the platform is getting in the way of the developers, they will not be able to build amazing applications.
Another thing that development teams need to think about when replatforming their applications are the changes and enhancements required to get the most out of the application on that platform.
The next concern development teams need to think about is that of build and packaging. Building and containerizing their application is perhaps the most critical step. Containers are, after all, the deployment artifact for Kubernetes-based platforms.
Another key concern for developers is the application lifecycle. How can we get applications through many environments to production and ensure that they stay running and reliable there?
Observability is extremely important to application teams. Developers, SREs, and others need to have a way to introspect the behavior of the application at runtime. How do we go and expose this information?
Now, one of the greatest strengths of the cloud-native ecosystem is the breadth of tooling and frameworks, but this can also be a disadvantage. Many teams who might be new to Kubernetes are confronted with something like this daunting landscape diagram and struggle to focus in on what they need. Or maybe they just need help discerning where one approach or tool might fit their use case over another. As a team, we have designed and implemented hundreds of Kubernetes deployments for some of the largest companies, spanning many verticals, including telco, healthcare, retail, and banking. In addition to provisioning and configuring platforms, our focus has been delivering business value on top of Kubernetes. This experience has led us to contribute to the creation and direction of many popular open source projects. Tools like kubeadm and Cluster API are upstream Kubernetes projects whose creation was heavily informed by this team's expertise. And in the case of Contour, this started as a co-development with a customer in order to solve a problem that they and the community were facing.
So as John mentioned in the beginning, there are 2 personas that interact with a Kubernetes-based platform. In this video, we explored the concerns that developers need to think about to be able to arrive at their business outcomes. As you can see, Simply installing Kubernetes and granting your developers access to the Kubernetes API is not enough. With CNR for applications, we enable application developers and we ensure that their applications are successful on a Kubernetes-based platform. Thanks for watching.